One of the most exciting experiences in my life was to film the opera Tosca on location in the church where it was supposed to have happened. I remember early on, before we started filming, going into the church and seeing, dozens of clergymen, of monks, of priests, looking at the ceiling and the walls of this church. Many they had never seen before, because as we know, in filming, it takes a lot more light than real. And so these priests were seeing frescoes on the ceiling and walls of this church that they had never seen before. And it was quite exciting to watch their excitement. In filming, the biggest problem is the lip syncing. Almost everything is lip synced in a film situation, because you can't have the orchestra wandering around the Castel San Angelo or in the streets of Rome, obviously. And so you had somebody in the filming watch the lip syncing. And the biggest stop was, you missed that, you were a little ahead, you were a little behind, and you have to do it again. So you did it piecemeal. You know, if you've got 2 minutes of film, 5 minutes of film that was dead on. Another problem was, if you retook a scene, was the candle, for instance, burned way down, and so you could see that it was a cut. So they had somebody else watching all of the details to make sure that if they cut, it would cut appropriately. And I suppose the lip syncing was the hardest. That was the hardest thing. Ironically, nobody knows this, the original recording was done with Placido and Reina Kabivanska in London, with Bruno Bartoletti conducting. I was not available. I put the voice on the orchestral track in San Francisco when I was singing Thais there live, and in between performances, I was doing the soundtrack for this Tosca film. During the filming, I was actually in London singing performances of Fanciulla del West, and in between performances, I would fly to Rome. And of course, I didn't have to be in good voice. I mean, that's one upside of lip syncing. You don't have to be in good voice because it's not your voice. And we would film, let's say, from midnight to 6 in the morning, so that the lighting was whatever they wanted. There was no sunlight. You also couldn't film when there was tours, which was during the day. And so we'd have a makeup call about 6 p.m., not in the morning, 6 p.m., and start to do stuff around 8 or 9, and really film from, let's say, midnight to 6 in the morning, before sunup, whenever the sunup was. That took a little bit of getting used to, working from midnight to 6 in the morning. In fact, I remember the death scene when Tosca stabs Scarpia. We were filming, about 5 o'clock, and we only had enough time to do 3 or 4 takes on it. And that was a lot of pressure. But it was a very exciting time in my career, and I love the part of Scarpia, and I hope everyone watches this film at some point. Done very well, and I hope you enjoy it.